What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are on this, the 23rd of April, sitting at about 2 cents right now, 9 hours, 52 minutes left in the day. Moving up. It's good to see. It's good to see the price here. Specifically, the reason why it is good to see the price here is there's a couple of key areas on various significant fibs, right? If we take this low to a high, you are at this price or higher, closing above the 236, which is the final boss, so to speak, in this kind of area. Once we close above this, we validate these lows, we validate the idea that we're going above this high, and just carry on with the idea of breaking out of this bull flag all the way up to about, what is it, like 5.5 cents, 5.6 cents. So being here is nice. Now what we have to do is stay here. We have 9 hours and 10 minutes, 9 hours 51 minutes to go. We're up 8%. I don't think I have to tell you that in that time, XCN can do a lot. It can pump up another 8%. It can drop 10%. So we just got to hold here or push higher, and that would be nice to see. Now, if we don't see that, if what we see is a rejection instead and we come down back to like where the day opened, maybe we even close today red, I'm not worried about the price, right? It might be a signal that we are going down to the 0.5, and that's something to discuss, but it doesn't mean that we're inevitably not going to break out of this, right? We're going to, but it's important to wait for confirmation. This is exciting now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm very much not expecting that we reject here. Absolutely not. If anybody's watched my recent Bitcoin video, you'll be like, but what about Bitcoin? I thought you said it's going down. You're going to say XCN's moving up while Bitcoin's moving down. Well, yes, but that doesn't happen. Well, yes, it does actually. We've seen it happen a couple times where Bitcoin will move down and OnyxCoin will move up, or Bitcoin will move up and OnyxCoin will move down. They do not move in tandem. They do not have to respect each other. Generally, they do, but not always, right? So I'm just saying here, right now what we're doing is bigger than Bitcoin. It's bigger than maybe not bigger than Bitcoin. I shouldn't say that, but we don't have to worry about Bitcoin, because what Bitcoin's doing is going to be very minor. It's not going to matter a whole lot. We're just going to consolidate before breaking out higher, right? That's all we're doing, and it might not even last a day. Maybe it lasts a couple days at the most, but that's what I mean. It's when I say this is bigger than Bitcoin, I don't mean like obviously I don't think OnyxCoin is bigger than Bitcoin. I just mean that what Bitcoin's doing right now is not as big of a deal as what OnyxCoin is doing right now. Does that make sense? Okay. Closing above the 236 is a big deal. If we put on this overall high to low here, high to low right there. No, it's not that one. Which one is it? Is it this high to low? It's not this high to low. No. Well, closing above the 382 is a big deal too. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this low to high. Yes, same thing, right? So closing above this area here, the 236 for this one is at about 2.035 cents. We're basically there now. So closing at this area or higher, ideally higher, today would be nice to see. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. What does it all mean? I hope it's very simple as to what it means, but if we can close a little bit higher or just close here, I think that we will be seeing a rapid expansion in correspondence with this bull flag measure move here, right? Yesterday I was saying that I don't believe it'll happen over 3 days. I don't think it's going to take 3 days. It could. We've seen it move this fast before, but here from a low to a high, I wouldn't be surprised if it took us like a week, maybe a little bit more than 3 days. Maybe it takes us a little bit more than a week, whatever. But the measure move at the end of the day is 5.6, 5.5 cents, somewhere around there. That's what we're looking for. And it's all validated with the notion of closing essentially where we're at, if not higher. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Let's look at some of these shorter time frames and get on with it. Actually, the daily RSI, I just want to mention, you got overbought. Nice overbought reading here. Cooled off, finding support above the 50. That's also nice. It's good to see. And we're back above the 60 here. Postured to get overbought. This right now, what we're seeing over the past couple of days, these 8% movements. Yesterday was a 13% movement, right? From a low to from an open to a close. That's nothing compared to what's coming, right? This is nice. I will take 8% growth every single day. That's awesome, right? I'm fine with that. But days like this, where we see 20%, 30%, 40% growth on a 24-hour period, that's what we have to look forward to. That's probably what's coming our way as soon as we get overbought, as soon as we close at these prices are higher. It's right around the corner. I mean, it could be tomorrow that we see one of these like 20 to 40% day growths starting up, right? So, but I do expect that by the end of the month we will see these prices up at 5.5 cents to 5.6 cents. That's been the call. I had one guy, I think about one guy, man. I don't care about being right or wrong, but this guy really cared. Whenever we were down here, he was saying, and it was at the low. Of course it was at the low. He was saying, whenever OnyxCoin is not, or if he said if OnyxCoin doesn't see a 200% growth by the end of the month, are you going to admit that you were wrong? I hope that everybody here holds you accountable in the comments for being wrong. And it's like, okay, all right, deal. But are you going to hold me accountable for being right? Like I always admit when I'm wrong. I don't care about being wrong, right? There's a lot of YouTubers out there, and before we go on any further, guys, you'll notice if you pay attention, there are a lot of YouTubers out there that really their pride hinges on being right and not being wrong. So much so that they won't even admit when they're wrong. I don't have any pride when it comes to that. I'm shameless. I don't care. I could be wrong 10 times in a row. I'm going to show my face here. I'll make fun of myself. We've been there before, right? I definitely did not call this whole range perfectly, but you don't have to be right 100% of the time. You don't even have to be right 20% of the time, 10% of the time to make money. You just have to have good risk management and patience is what it is, right? So I don't know, guy. Whoever it was, if you're watching this video, are you gonna call me out for being right? Are you gonna spread joy and cheer in the comments? Are you gonna forever never be a negative Nancy again? I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But let's get on to the 4-hour time frame here. I just think it's funny, man. I think it's really funny because they're the loudest. They're always the loudest here. You know, they're the loudest right there. 4-hour time frame. If we're looking at this on the RSI, we are getting overbought. We did not get oversold. We got overbought here, bouncing off the oversold area, right? Little double bottom there, getting into the overbought zone now. That's nice to see as we're breaking out, volumes coming in, all these good things, right? That's not a lot of volume though. Well, yeah, retrospectively, I mean, looking at the charts here, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of volume. We did get a lot of volume on this big wick. We don't have so much of a wick now, so that's still above average volume. If we're looking at OnyxCoin here, the TradingView volume readings might be inaccurate, or not inaccurate, they're accurate, but they might not be a good representation of what good volume is. We're seeing 17% volume in a 24-hour period, you guys. This is fine. This is fine. We're fine. We are definitely moving up with enough momentum and volume to continue going on here. I like the 4-hour RSI. We are just now getting overbought, right? We weren't overbought last 4-hour. We're overbought this 4-hour. What happened the last time that we got overbought? From the first candle that we got overbought. It wasn't here, but it was here. That was the first candle that we got overbought. What happened? Well, we chilled for a couple 4-hour candles, and then we continued to run. In the aspect of this overall run, if you sold as soon as we got overbought, you missed like 2/3 of it. So I'm not saying that this is 2/3 of the move. I'm just saying I think that we have a lot more to go, right? I don't think that we're done here. I very much do believe that we're breaking out. Inevitably, we are going to go to 5.5 cents, 5.6 cents. I don't expect it to just be a straight shot, but wouldn't that be nice if it was? We could go higher. We could stop below, so be aware of that. Don't have your hearts set on 5.5 to 5.6 cents. We can divvy from that. It doesn't have to be specifically there, but if it wasn't specifically there, I have the assumption that it's going to be a little bit higher, not lower, that we stop. Anyways, looking at the 1-hour time frame here, 1-hour RSI, also getting bullish. We're getting some overbought areas, consistently staying in the overbought area, consistently finding support on the 60, and you're seeing stronger readings now than we've seen throughout this whole time. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. It really is art, man. Volume's increasing. We're coming in, right? But it's not as big as this volume. Well, that was a big spike. You know, we got the volume. We got the volume. Don't worry about it. It's increasing, relatively speaking. That's all that matters, right? This if you're focusing on this, you're looking at it a little bit wrong. Like yes, it is at a lower rate from where this was. But if you look at this as a blemish, which you should look at this as a blemish, really you're increasing, right? You are increasing in volume right now. I want to look at the 15-minute time frame real quick. A little bit of bearish divergence here. Yeah, a little bit of bearish divergence. Okay, so, nice little pop there. We could, regulate, level out. Maybe we do go back down to prices that are just below 2 cents. Another thing, you guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but right now, we're not at like a make it or break it kind of moment. I mean, yes, if we close above 2.3 cents or 2.03 cents, that's a nice thing. That is a make it moment. But if we don't close above there today, if we reject down, if we close below 2 cents today, we're not toast. We're fine. Even if we go all the way back down below this low, we're not toast. We're okay. Okay, we're totally fine. I don't know if there's really too much more that I want to talk about. Let's look at the ribbons real quick, and then maybe we'll look at some other indicators. Somebody wanted me to look at the MACD. We'll look at the MACD for you. I forget who it was, but somebody was saying the MACD looks bad. I don't think it does. I mean, last I checked, I think it looked really good, but I haven't checked on it in a few days, so let's just see. Daily ribbon, that's beautiful. That's a thing of beauty right there. Crossed, pulled back to it, finding support, ripping up, expanding. Beautiful. Love it. Good to see. 3-day time frame, yes, the ribbon looks beautiful as always. Of course it does. nice little contraction with the expansion here. It's beautiful. It's perfect. This is super bullish, you guys. Weekly time frame also super bullish. Found support just below the ribbon, contracted, expanding. We're looking good. We're looking super good. Okay, now let's pull up the MACD and stuff, right? Let's see. Yes. I don't want that. We could leave the MFI on there because we're using the volume chart. We'll leave the MFI on there. So the MACD, you wanted me to look at it on the daily time frame, right? Daily time frame. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hush the LRO. Maybe we'll just delete the LRO because I'm already aware of where the levels are. I don't really care to address it. So the MACD here on the daily time frame, they were telling me that it was crossed down in the comment, whoever you were, but it's not crossed down actually. There's bullish momentum building here, and I don't have my MACD set to any kind of specific standards. It's just the default settings here on the daily time frame. But no, it's fine. It's postured well. In fact, beyond just the histogram being green or red, what you have here is the oscillators crossing from below the zero to above the zero. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal, man. Whenever we were here, I mean, you have to go way back, but whenever we were here and you were below the zero, going all the way back down here, and you crossed above the zero here, right? You were below the zero, you finally crossed above it. Not just got a taste, you were below the zero for a while, right? You were below it, not just getting a taste, but actually crossing above it here, right? Look at what happened. That was the beginning of a lot of good tidings to come, right? We are just now crossing above the zero. Where is it? On the MACD here. I have to zoom it out a little bit. That's a good thing, man. So beyond just the histogram, right? There's a couple of people that I pay attention to that I respect as technical analysts. They don't use the oscillators, and the oscillator, these numbers here, it's a big deal. It's a big part of the MACD. You're like cutting off half the perspective if you don't use the oscillators. But the histogram isn't everything, but it does help. The histogram is the main part. But right now it's showing that we are building bullish momentum. Actually, today we are building bullish momentum, and ideally, what we want to see with this histogram is continue to build. We want the histogram to get bigger, right? You want it to grow. You don't want it to decay. When it decays, that implies that we're going to get a reversal, right? You're building bullish momentum as you're going down, right? It's pretty hard to do, right? That things are going to change. Things are turning around. If we're looking at the stochastic RSI here, finding support at the 50, that's not a common thing to do. Normally, you do just oscillate between the overbought and oversold areas. But hey, overbought, bouncing off the 50, area that you found resistance. I will say it's more common in the daily than it is in the weekly to do stuff like this, but you're postured nice. I think you're going to continue to grow. Looking at the 3-day time frame. Well, first off, actually, the MFI also is postured nice, overbought, finding support below the 50. Now you're looking good. And this probably won't be an accurate representation either because it's based on this volume here, which, again, if you're setting it based on this volume, it's going to look like you have less volume moving up whenever really we have decent, it's pretty damn good volume, guys. So maybe actually the MFI won't be helpful in this scenario. 3-day time frame, looking bullish as hell, right? Look at this, right? We were coming down to cross below the zero, but we didn't. The blue line going below the zero is not that big of a deal. The red line going below the zero is a big deal, and we bounced right off of it. You can barely see it, but if you look right there, we're bouncing right off the zero line, building bullish momentum on the 3-day time frame, bullish as hell. MACD is great. Stochastics bouncing off the 50, crossed upwards, bullish as hell. It looks great. We got a day and 10 hours left in this. Let's close it green, man. Let's close it green and engulf the last 3-day candle, the candle before that, the candle before that, and the candle before that. Let's just do it. Let's over the next day and 10 hours. Let's keep going. Okay. Weekly time frame, weekly MACD. This one is the only one that's crossed red, but it's about to cross green. Daily MACD or not, this is what you should be focusing on, man. We're about to cross this green, and we are well above the zero line, right? We're in a bullish posturing here. I'm wondering, this would be super bullish, man, but if these oscillators can go, if they can continue to grow, get higher highs, that's awesome. That would be awesome, right? Another point to the oscillators, man, they can diverge. You can have bearish divergence on the oscillators. You don't just need the histogram. Like, don't get rid of the oscillators, guys. I don't care if everybody in town's doing it, if it's the cool thing to do. You're setting yourself up for a loss of information there. We have 4 days and 10 hours left in this week. The stochastics is crossed to the downside. That's not ideal on a weekly basis, but if we can continue to move up, the stochastics will move up as well. And in even this is a partial cross. Maybe next week, perhaps next week, we would actually see this thing flip back green, right? Or to the upside. It's possible. Sometimes we dilly-dally on our way, but oftentimes you do go from oversold to overbought to oversold to overbought, and we're in a nice bullish cross here. So everything looks great, guys. Everything. The weekly RSI looks awesome. The stochastics, the MACD, it all looks awesome. Here's the last thing that we'll talk about before we end the video here, okay? It's the Heikin Ashi candles. On a weekly time frame, yes, we've flipped our momentum bullish to the green side. 3-day time frame has been green. It's maintaining its green part. And here's what's cool is that the daily has flipped green. We've been looking for this. We want these solid body candles, and as we continue moving up, we'll only get those more. I really do believe that this is the phase of the next move up, right? While we're in the downtrend, these green candles weren't as reliable, but when you're in an uptrend, man, they're very, very persistent. Now, Heikin Ashi, just because it's green doesn't mean that the day is green, right? There were red days throughout here. It's like an average of the candles, right? From the prior day's candles, the lows, the highs, the open, the close, and the current day's candles too. So if you want to look up the formula for the Heikin Ashi, you can. I'm not going to explain it here, but you can do it yourself if you want to. But it's a way to not solely look at a candle as green based on its open to closing price for the current day, but more of like a momentum. It's kind of like a momentum based indicator in itself, because it really does, I feel like, gauge momentum as far as are you consistently green? Are you consistently building based off your averages and stuff like that? But I got nothing else for you guys. I'm just talking at this point. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The goal today, in case it got lost in the translation, the goal today would be to close above this red line here. Oh, no, not that red line. I'm sorry. Not that red line. I mean, hey, man, yeah, that's the goal. Let's close above there, actually. Let's do that. That's even better. But from a low to a high, the goal is to close. Is that right? No, it's not it's the relative low. I'm sorry. 2.035 cents. Close above there. We're there now. Keep it up. Keep going, right? And that'll validate everything that we've been looking for, which is the fact that we're going to go to new relative highs like this, higher than this by the end of the month. Before I keep stumbling over my words, I'm going to end the video there. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Let's make some money, guys. All right. Bye-bye.